Okay, in this video, we're going to look at using arpeggiators or ARPs for short. So what we're going to do is I'm going to create a new a new MIDI track. And that was an audio track, my bad. A new MIDI track. And I'm just going to rename the last track we did to pads and rename this one to ARPs. Okay, just so we're clear. I'm going to grab the MIDI clip that we use for the pads and copy it and bring it down to our arpeggiator track because it has the chord notes that we used in the last lesson and have used all throughout this piece. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the notes so we can just see what the chords are within the clip. And what I'm going to do is set the grid to 16th notes. Highlight, click and drag all of the MIDI notes and just reduce them down to the lowest setting of the grid, the 16th note. Now I'm going to go through and click these chord notes one after the other in each of the slot. Now we've got a C minor chord here, C, E flat and G. I'm going to use the C an octave above. It's still part of the chord, it's still a chord note. I was going to use that C an octave above to kind of round out this slot here. I'm then going to click and drag the chord notes. Control C, copy, Control V on the next beat, because you can see where it lines up with the grid on the next beat. And then we have something that will play one after the other. I'll just add some massive to the track so we can actually hear it. And I'll play it for you. I'm just going to use the stock standard massive sound for now. So we get that kind of sound that works with our composition. It harmonizes really well because it's just using the chord notes that we've used all throughout this piece. So in the next bar, we have a flat major chord. So I'm just going to use the same voicing, same order of the notes. But at the top, I'm going to use the C again because the C is part of the chord, and I reckon it will just sound cool if it continues that same kind of pattern with only one note difference in between. So add that in. So let's have a listen to it again so far. And that's quite cool. All right, again, I'm going to use the same order of the notes. And I'm just going to get rid of these ones because now we know what the notes are. And again, the C is part of this chord, so I'm going to use the C again to kind of keep this pattern really going. Only one note changes from these two patterns, but it adds a cool harmonic effect. So let's copy and paste those across. Okay, I'm holding Option, clicking and dragging there, by the way. If anyone was wondering how I did that, just highlighted the notes by clicking a box around it. Option, click and drag, and you can copy the notes. This last bar, we've got a B flat major chord, so the B flat, D, and F. I'm going to just add a B flat down here, an octave below, and start from down here and work our way up the octave like that. So then, again, I'll do the Option, click and drag thing again so you can see it. Box around, Option, click, drag, Option, click, drag, Option, click, drag. By the way, an Option is Control on a PC, so it depends what machine you're using. But anyway, we have a arpeggiator or an arpeggiator track playing the arpeggio notes or the notes of the chords throughout the drop here. So let's have a listen to it. Now that arpeggiator sound works pretty well with the actual standard massive sound, but I reckon the best, you could keep that now to be fine, but I reckon the best sounds to use are pluck sounds. So for example, if I come down to this pluck Z sound here in my browser, let's just have a listen to the track here. That's the sound. So I might go with that. So you might just want to use this over the top of this second half of the drop, or you might want to create like a third part to the drop where the arpeggiator comes in over here. So for example, if I just drag the pads out and I'll drag the rest of these notes out, I'll show you how to copy the drum pattern quite easily. So what we'll do is I'll click on the crash and hold down Shift and just click on the next bar, or what you can do is click on the first bar. You might have to zoom in a little bit. Remember, I'm moving my mouse up to the top so it becomes a magnifying glass and dragging up and down. Click on the first bar here, then move down to the very last bar where the crash is. Hold down the Shift key and click, and just press Control C for copy, or right click copy, and paste it at the start of the next section. So now, in the second half, we'll play it through. We've got the pads in the first half, or sorry, they get with the first bit here, with just the chords and the beat, builds up into here with the pad, and then builds up again here with the arpeggiator. So let's just have a listen to this section. And there you have it. That's how we use an arpeggiator or an arps track to kind of add just another layer of texture to our composition.